Hey guys, we're just a few hours away before the trading day starts again. We're now close to the last week of February, so it's interesting now. We've been trading almost 2 months already for the year, and a lot of action has happened. The first few weeks, we saw a lot of the larger cap companies move up. Now the index is retracing, failing to break down of failing to break out from 8-9. You see it start to retrace, and you see there might be possibly a longer downward movement if the 8-5 support does not hold. That's why you're seeing a lot of stocks that have relatively smaller market caps move faster right now, and that's how the game normally is. When the larger cap stocks are not moving up, you see the smaller companies start to move. So for those who are new to this, this is our stocks by request portion, where I analyze and tally the top stocks that have been requested over social media, the PMs that you've sent, those who sent emails, and those who also contacted me via my website. So we've had a lot of stocks that I tried to tally, and it's amazing that I'm seeing more and more interest in, I guess, people having a glimpse of what the stock market can give them and how interesting it actually is. So and that's my dream. That's why I keep doing videos like this, because I just really want to see more and more Filipinos be interested in the market. I want it to be like other countries where Filipinos talk about stocks, or the citizens of that country talk about stocks, and it's normal to them. So I just hope, I'm just trying to make my dent here in the Philippines, that we get to see more Filipinos get inspired, get encouraged, and they get interested about investing in the market as well. So before I begin with the top stocks that you've requested, this will be in YouTube and also in my website marvingurmo.com, and here in the fan page in Facebook. So if you want to get notified about the latest updates, you'll see everything here in my Facebook page, YouTube, and marvingurmo.com. For those who want to learn technical analysis and fundamentals on a classroom level, and you want to see the context of how I do it and how I would analyze it, I'd like to invite you. The next Stock Smart session will be in Manila, March 3 for 17, 18, and 24. That's a whole course on technical and fundamental analysis. Then after that, we'll be having one this April in Cebu, and then Davao end of April. And I'm trying to do one in Korea also this April. So just comment below if you're from Korea and you want to join us also for that event. Then on May, I'll be in Singapore for Stock Smart Singapore, whole course also on technical analysis, then some roundtable sessions on fundamental analysis as well. Then June, we will be in Melbourne, Australia. It will be my first Stock Smart session there, so I'm excited also for that. All right, so that's it. The goal and the context is really just to bring in more and more Filipinos and use this, and they can use the stock market to reach your goals of financial freedom as well. All right, so the top 10 stocks that you've sent, number 1 is Golden Haven. Golden Haven has been pretty much been talked about because of its large move. I've made more extensive videos about this, but this all stemmed from the breakout from 22. After that boom, it started to move up. There was some sort of smaller resistance that were around 179, but as what I always say, your goal as a technical trader, as a trader, is to buy a stock close to its support range, and now it's pretty much far from that. So please do not chase this stock. If do not chase this stock. Your goal is not to buy stocks while they're very, very far from the support range. But if you have this stock and you own this stock, what's amazing about that is there's no sell signal yet. You can maximize your gains still for both position and quick trading. We don't have a sell signal yet for the stock, so you can hold on to it. Money's moving into the stock. Price and momentum oscillators are still telling you that there's no reversal signal yet. So for quick and position trading, Golden Haven, no sell signal yet. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're gonna talk about TBGI. You guys have TBGI? I know this is not a Facebook live session, but it's recorded similar to Facebook live session. Comment below if you have TBGI. TBGI, after its large move up by the end of January, started to consolidate. The tradable range for TBGI is 0.47. That's your support range, and your target price is 0.68. So why am I saying this? Bounce from 0.47, buy. Target price is 0.68. Failure to hold 0.47, please disregard this. It can possibly retrace around 0.39 and 0.40 pesos or 40 centavos per share. So TBGI buy 0.47, bounce from 0.47, target price is 0.68. So that's TBGI. Next one you have Now. Now also similar to HVN has had a lot of coverage, mainly because of its move to be the third telco player. Bloomberg interviewed their CEO quite extensively. There's a large volume attached to it. So similar to Golden Haven though, it's far from its support range already, and we don't want to buy a stock that's very, very far from its support range. But if you are holding the stock, it's now experiencing some sort of resistance at 17. It 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 days of it trying to go past 17, but it hasn't yet. It hasn't closed above it. If there's further hesitation close to 17, quick traders may now take profits. However, please take note of this. If it breaks out of 17, no sell signal yet for the stock. But even as of this point in time, price and momentum oscillators, moving averages, volume oscillators are not showing you any sell signal yet. There's no reversal pattern yet, so we don't know where the top is yet. Again, our goal as traders is not to figure out where the peak is. Our goal is to sell when there's reversal signals. But for both quick trading and position trading, there's no definite sell signal yet, but there's just one surfacing itself around 17 that there is a possible resistance as of that point in time. All right, so you have now. Then I want to talk about another maneuver stock. I'm talking about STR. STR also is consolidating. It has a support at 15.5, so please take note of this. Support is at 15.5, the resistance is at 29.5 or around 30. If it fails to break out of 29.5 or 30, those who positioned and bought at the bounce at 15.5, you may now take profits. But please take note of this. If it breaks out of 15.5 or around 30 pesos per share, target price will be around 45 pesos. So very, very interesting. We must see it first break out of 29.5 or 30 and stay above it for it to possibly hit 45 pesos per share. If it fails to break out of 29.5, fails to break out of 30, those who bought at 15.5, you may now take profits as well. It could be a quick trade for you. Price oscillators are showing you that it's still bullish, but volume oscillators are now showing you that money is moving out while all of this action is happening. So take that as part of your analysis as well. Next one, Ayala Land. Ayala Land, of course, is pretty much connected to the index. No? So how Ayala Land moves, it will influence the index in a very, very sharp way. But from a technical perspective, there's a couple of things that I'd like to tell you. Number one, its downward movement, 3 days straight of downward movement, is brought about by number one, its failure to break out of 46. Number two, please watch out. No, there's a support level at around 44. If it fails to hold 44, it could possibly retrace to around 42 or 41.7 further. There's a support at around 42. Let's see if it goes to that point, if it actually holds that level. But short-term oscillators are already showing that there's still a change in direction downward, that there's a possible movement still downward, especially that you have 3 large red candles, plus you have oscillators pointing downward momentum. The only positive side that I see with it is money still moving in, you still have a lot of buyers, but I think it could possibly, if it fails to hold 44, it could possibly go to around 42 or around 41.7 over the short term. If it goes to 41.7 and 42 and it holds that level and it bounces, buy, your target price will be around 46 pesos per share. Alright, so another blue chip stock or another amazing company, I'm talking about Jollibee. Jollibee is now at almost a month that it's consolidating. The resistance of Jollibee is at 295. You have a short-term support at 274. So please take note of this. Failure to break out of 295, Jollibee may retrace to 275. I repeat, failure to break out of 295, Jollibee may retrace to 275. If it retraces 275 and 275 does not hold, it may go back to 258. That's from a quick trading perspective. But if it breaks out of 295, I think over the short term it can go to 315. Please take note of this. Breakout of 295, it can possibly go to 315. For position traders, the trend is still bullish. It's still in an uptrend, but because there are some price oscillators now showing you change in direction downward, you may experience it. There's a possibility that it could correct a bit and it may go back to the support that I mentioned at 274, 275 pesos per share. Next, CHP. As good as Golden Haven now has been moving, and how TBGI and STR have been moving sideways, Cemex has been doing the opposite. There's still no buy signal. Short, mid, and long term, the stock is bearish. The stock is in a very, very strong downtrend. There's still momentum going downward. Oscillators are still showing that money's headed out. Price is still pointing that it's denoting that it's still pushing downward. The sad thing about it is it broke down from a support at 4 pesos per share. So now Cemex is at a position where it does not have a support. A stock that does not have a support will continue to go down until it finds a level of buying. You have to remember this. This is not just the trend. This is not just also technicals, but it's supported by bad fundamentals. The company's not has dropped in its earnings. So that's the sad thing about it. So I don't know until when will this end. But again, your goal is not to guess what will happen, but your goal is to follow the trend. And the trend is telling us it's bearish. It's in a downtrend. There's no buy signal yet. So that's Cemex for you. Next, we have Ayala Corporation. Ayala Corporation naman, again, this is the conglomerate of Ayala Land. No? The tradable range for this is 1,025 or 1,020 to around 1,100. So bounce from 120 can go back to 1,100. It's relatively a thin range already. If it fails to break out, fails to hold 120, it can go back to 947 to around 950, which is where the strong support is. But you can expect it. No, it's been already ranging. It's already been in this sideways range from October 2017 to where we are right now. So it's been moving from 1,025 to around 11 or at least 977. 977, you have a support there to around 1115 pesos per share. Not much movement for it. Very, very slow momentum for Ayala Corporation. DD Double Dragon is also in the same fate as Cemex. The stock is bearish. Short, mid, long term oscillators are bearish. No buy signal for the stock. It's now at a dilemma. Now, please take note of this. If it does not hold 32, I think Double Dragon can drop to 26. Please take note. The stock is bearish. No buy signal. If it fails to hold 32 or 32.5, it can go to 26. If it bounces from 32.5, it can rebound and go to around 36 or around 37 pesos per share. But pretty much the trend is still bearish. So those who are buying it will just buy it because it's oversold. You'll just buy it because it's bouncing from 32.5, 32.6, and you have to sell at around 36.9 or around 37 pesos per share. But other than that, there's no buy signal for Double Dragon. Lastly, Mega World. Let me point this down. Mega World is also in a short-term downtrend. The only difference between Mega World is if it does not go back to 4.8, I think it can retrace and go down to around 4.35 pesos per share. So Meg is bearish. Price oscillators and momentum oscillators are showing you that it's also bearish. It's forming a downtrend. If it does not hold and stay above 4.8, I believe it can drop to around 4.35 pesos per share. If it goes back to 4.8, it has a chance to bounce and go to around 5. Over the short term. So 4.8 is your support, but the trend is still headed down. Fails to hold 4.8, it can go to 4.35. Bounces from 4.8, can go to 5.1 pesos per share over the short term. So it's 1:50 a.m. in Manila. I had a lot of things to do. I wanted to do this earlier when the weekend started, but there was just so much. So as promised, I'm still doing it 1:50 a.m. 7 hours to go, or around 7+ hours to go before the market opens. I hope these 10 stocks will give you a reference point. Again, these are not merely stock picks that you just buy or sell blindly because of this. I hope while I'm doing this, you have your charts out, that you make this a reference point, that you get to do the charts also while I'm analyzing this, because my goal is not to give you fish, but my goal is to teach you how you can fish on your own, fish for yourself. My goal is not just to give you stocks that you can buy that you make money off. My goal is to give you opportunities so that you can use that opportunities to help make money for yourself as well, so that as you make money, people will actually believe that, hey, money can be made in the Philippines. And I really hope that the world will see us differently, that Filipinos will be seen by the world as prosperous people, as generous people, that we change the narrative, that we don't have to be a third world country. You have to remember this. Third world countries made up with people with a third world mindset, but the Filipinos think differently, and it starts with all of us, that we see ourselves as people who are not just here to exist, but people who are here to make a difference. We are here to not just breathe air and just consume, but we are here to add value. I believe the Philippines will be a different place, and I believe that all of you, because you guys have a different set of mindset already compared to everyone else, you will make a difference in this country. You will make a difference in the lives of the people around you. And for me, it's just really helping you guys in the stock market, and I know you have your own sphere of influence where you can make a difference as well. So God bless you all. The week is about to start. I hope this helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all this week for Stock Smarts Manila. I'm actually excited, so God bless you and have a great weekend.